what's up friends, Jeff Sokol here. We're going to take this 1.25" OD oak dowel and we are going to cut it down and turn it into a ferro rod for a very special customer. Check this out, we'll be right with you. Boom! Yes, and here we are. We are back in the shop now, and I'm sorry for the echo, guys, but sometimes it just echoes in the shop. And I don't have one of those micro thingies that go on the outside and hang over and all that stuff. So if it's got a little bit of an echo in the shop, I apologize for that. This is the ferro rod that we're going to be using, okay? It's very similar to the one that I have in this rod right here that I built for myself out of spalted oak. You know, people spend all this time spalting oak and whatnot and making it do funny things, make pretty designs on it, kind of like this here and all that. No need, no need. If you have oak firewood, I promise you, if it's over a year old, you've got spalted oak. If it's been sitting outside in the rain at all, you have spalted oak in there. Okay, so before you go buy spalted oak on purpose or try to take 18 months to spalt it yourself or however long it takes to spalt it, check your local firewood pile first and see if there's any spalted oak or spalted maple in there. So anyway, check this out. This is a very good little ferro rod. I get these in bulk. And anyway, this is a hobby of mine, as a lot of you very well know. So we're gonna show you how we do this with this oak dowel here, and we're gonna cut this up. Then we're gonna rock and roll, and we're gonna stick it in and make it nice and pretty and shaped and all that other fun stuff. So stay tuned. So this is one of those things that happens after the fact, right? Or at least it happens after the fact with me. So that we get everything straight, we get everything as even as we can, and our holes are looking good, everything's sanded down and smooth. And then we go to put our ferro rod in there, and what happens? Our ferro rod goes in, it's crooked. See that? See, it's not straight. And at least I can tell it's not straight. To me, that's what happened. Somehow or another, it looked straight to me when I was drilling it, and now it's not straight. So what we have to do, we're gonna go ahead and fix that by hand on the drill. okay, on the drill press. We're gonna go ahead and fix that by hand, but at the same time, the epoxy that we're gonna put in here, we're just gonna hollow this out a little bit. The epoxy that we're gonna put in here is actually stronger than the wood. So it's gonna be plenty sturdy, plenty strong, great for use and everything. It's not gonna be compromised at all. But I just wanted to point that out. So if you're gonna make your own ferro rods, that sometimes that does tend to happen, especially with the vise that I have, and it doesn't quite line up with the central machinery table on this particular drill press. And it tends to wobble a little bit. You know, it was an inexpensive drill press and it gets the job done, but it's not it does wobble a tiny smidge, but it's nothing that can't be overcome. It does still make very good straight holes, as you can see. But just on this one, I guess it must have been a little bit crooked with the vise, and I just didn't catch it. So let's go ahead and hollow that out. See that? See how I made that a little better? So now it's not crooked. Now what I'll have to do, so you can still lean that way, all right? It'll still lean to that side. So when I put the epoxy in and I let it dry, we'll just have to make sure that it's facing the right direction. And it only takes about 5 minutes for the epoxy to set. So just make sure that it's facing in the proper direction, and it'll be good to go. All right. Brother! Okay, it's gonna be about 5-10 minutes for that to set. So we'll fast forward to that part. Let's go! Yeah, beautiful day here in the beautiful state of Montana. Okay, shh. I think we have one hen that's getting a little broody. Ignore you. Ignore. Okay, so we have a little hen in here. She's getting broody, but she doesn't lay anymore. She just hijacks other people's eggs and tries to hatch them. But we don't have a rooster, so I go in at my own peril. Come on, let's get this. All right, it's getting dark in here. Okay, these guys like to roost on top of their nest box. We need to clean that off. But for now, Hey, mama chicken. Oh, I know. I know. I know, mama bird. I don't have a light, so I'm gonna let her sit for now. Not hurt anything. So to be a little ornery. Okay. Eggies! Farm fresh, free range eggies. This is what my kids like to call them. Alright. Let's go. So every afternoon we put the chickens away. Every afternoon. So I mean they put themselves away and it's, I say afternoon, I mean like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night is when we just close them into their coop. Out of 14 birds, they've all been really good about putting themselves away. You know, I've had lots of chickens in the past, and sometimes they'll put themselves away, and sometimes they won't. You know, so sometimes they'll perch outside or whatever the case is. But these guys have all been really good about going where they're supposed to. And we've got one crippled chicken here, and she got stepped on when she was a baby. So she was like a little bitty chick. She got stepped on by a turkey, believe it or not. And I got her second hand, and she gripes all the time. That's her griping right now. But she makes the best of it. She hobbles on kind of one leg because her other leg sticks out to the side. And so this is her. I don't know if you can see her. Yeah. See her right there? She's kind of standing there. She's the one that looks all beat up. She sleeps away from the rest of the birds. She can perch. I've seen her do it, but she'd rather sleep on the ground. I feel so sorry for her, so I carry her everywhere. Believe it or not. Let's go put these eggs up, and then we'll go check on that Ferro rod. Beautiful day in Montana. Love it out here. It's awesome. Okay, be prepared. We're going into the house, and they have 4 children in there, 6 and under. All right, so get ready. Alright, we got the Greatest Showman playing, or trolls, love trolls. Hi, boogerhead. Okay. There we are. Hi, mommy. Don't worry, we'll blur mommy out for YouTube. Daddy's making a ferro rod for a friend. Not a fairy rod, a ferro rod, buddy, that you can make a fire with. Awesome? Awesome. All right, we put the eggs away, and now going back out to the shop for the remainder of the ferro rod. This is the coolest thing. See this? Check this out. This keeps the critters from getting inside. It even serves as a fence for the chickens, which I thought was really cool. And I grew up in South Louisiana, and we didn't have that. It's like, if you don't have a screened porch, you're screwed. You know, mosquitoes and whatnot. That thing looks great. It's got magnets on it that shut the door for you, or shut the screen anyway. Pretty cool. Let's go inside the darkness of the shop. Here we are. Shop time. Shop is a wreck. You guys, shop is getting in order, okay? So just don't judge me. There's trash back there, and the reason there's trash back there is because we have to take our trash to the dump ourselves. So And so we stock it up until it's ready to rock. Okay, guess what? Our ferro rod is now hardened. Immaculately hardened. Okay, perfect, man. So it did harden in the direction we wanted it to go. It's going to continue to get a little harder from here. But right now, it is good enough to finish up. So, rock and roll. We'll go ahead and we'll sand off these edges here, and we'll get it back to shape. We'll sand that epoxy off of there, and then she will be ready for her finish. And guess I'll put one of these on there. What do you think? A lanyard? Alright, let's do this. We're going to do this now, do this now, let's do this now. Alright, so I wrap her up so we don't scar it and all that stuff, make it ugly, because it's going to somebody else. Technically, I don't own it anymore. So. Okay, razzle dazzles. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tie on our lanyard here instead of making a one of these little doohickey diggles. One of these. Instead of making a tassel like this, like what I call a frontier style tassel. Instead of doing that, I'm going to tie one on because that's how it was sold. So I don't want the guy to feel obligated to leave the lanyard on there if you would prefer a paracord lanyard or something. So we're just going to go ahead and tie on a leather one here that he can take off if he feels like it without having to cut it. And then, yeah, we'll be good to go. So here we go. Cut that. Now we have our strap. And you know what we can even do? To protect the leather here, we can take some of this neat's foot oil. And neat's foot oil is really great at protecting leather, and that's what I use it for. That's what I guess most people that use neat's foot oil, that's what they use it for. It's not a permanent job, but it'll get the job started for sure. And then you just reapply your leather goods, especially if you get any leather goods from me, they will be treated with neat's foot oil before you receive it. So we'll put that on there. And then we'll just tie her through. If you guys want to know how to make the Frontier style tassel, then I do have another video on that, which I will leave in the comments, or I'll put one of those little doohickeys on top, right about there, and you can see it. How to make a Frontier style tassel. Okay, friends, we're about wrapped up. Okay, so now that we have the ferro rod, have all this done, and we have it stained with the color stain that we want and everything else, we're going to go ahead and use some boiled linseed oil. Just get it straight from Lowe's. So we just use this, and I use this to protect all of our axe handles and hammers and all that kind of stuff that we use on a regular basis. And this will need to be oiled regularly to protect the wood, because even though we put the stain on there, the wood still needs a little bit of extra protection, right? So we just utilize this BLO to do exactly that. It kind of helps that grain pop a little bit. Another thing it does, it takes off that higher layer of stain, and it leaves the stain inside the grain. See that? See how much prettier that makes it pop? Now, it's a pretty piece. Pretty piece. And if its new owner continues to do that and continues to put the boiled linseed oil on it on a regular basis, then it's going to last forever. This is a 1/2 inch OD ferro rod, so it could quite possibly be the last ferro rod this person will ever have to buy. This is not, let me see, you want to see my face, right? So this is a 1/2 inch OD ferro rod, and it could be the last ferro rod that this person ever has to buy. So depending on how much camping he does, depending on how much he uses it, or if he doesn't lose it, we'll just have to see from there. But bottom line is, that will do the trick. So guys, thank you very much. Check this out. Check out the subscribe button down here at the bottom, and please stay tuned, stay posted, and hit that notification on there so you'll see when another video comes out. Please leave in the comments any suggestions for any kind of videos, homesteading stuff, bushcraft stuff, whatever that you might like to see, and I'll make a video about that. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye bye.